Kia ora, ko Vicki Culling taku ingoa, no Aotearoa hau. Hi, my name is Vicki, and my daughter Esther, who died almost 20 years ago, brings me to the area of baby loss.
Tēnā koutou katoa, he urio no Parihauraki, ko Ngāti Tamati Rā te iwi, ko Marutuahu te tangata, ko Lisa Paraku hau. Kia ora. My name is Lisa, and Jasmine Lee brings me to this kōrero today. She was born perfect and still 12 years ago. Today we want to talk to you about autopsy and postmortem, and we'd like to acknowledge your precious baby who has died, and all of our babies who have died. So the purpose is to provide you and your family with information about postmortem and autopsy. Those are the same thing, by the way, and fairly much translate what's in this pamphlet that you should have been given from your midwife or doctor at the hospital.
We're not trying to convince you to have a postmortem or not to. We just want to give you information so that you feel good about the decision you make. You feel informed. Yeah. So there are three kinds of autopsy or postmortem. One is a full postmortem, one is limited, and one is called an external examination. So with the full postmortem, a specialist perinatal pathologist, who is a surgeon, looks at all of your baby's organs. So it's surgery. So she looks at the brain, the heart, the lungs, kidneys, and also looks at the placenta, umbilical cord, membranes, and takes blood tests. So the full postmortem is what gives us the most information. They call it the gold standard. So it's surgery. A limited postmortem is also surgery. And with a limited postmortem, the pathologist will just look at perhaps one organ or one or two organs, just focusing in, but we'll still look at the placenta, the umbilical cord, and membranes. Then an external examination is no surgery, and that's when the pathologist looks at your baby's body, perhaps takes a scan or x-rays, maybe blood tests, but doesn't do anything invasive. The external examination won't give as much information as a full or limited postmortem.
That's certainly better than nothing.
Yes. Yeah. If you're thinking about not having a postmortem at all, either of those three options, the pathologist can still look at your placenta and get some information from the placenta. It's important to know what baby will look like after a postmortem, because it's a hard decision, and that's a big part of it. So with a full and limited postmortem, the pathologist will make an incision here on the chest and here at the base of the head, and when they're finished they will sew it up beautifully, and on the chest there will be some surgical covering which is waterproof and skin coloured, and with the base of the head there will be and they'll be sewn up, and then they'll probably have a hat on. When after a postmortem you can still hold, cuddle, dress, undress, bathe, you can still parent your bubba.
Every moment is precious. Absolutely, you can.
So they still look fine, they still look like your baby, and if you want to you can hide that incision with clothing, but it's fine.
Important also to note that you can request all samples, so all of baby to be returned to you. So that's important for many families, and particularly important for our Māori whānau.
Yeah.
So in terms of location, postmortem and autopsy are performed in our 3 main centres of Aotearoa. So Auckland, Wellington and Christchurch, and sometimes autopsy postmortem can be performed in Dunedin. So there is a whole heap of very valuable information in this pamphlet for you and your family. It's a SANS pamphlet, so this should be in your SANS support pack that's provided to you at the hospital. If you don't have one, please ask your midwife or your doctor to provide. So transporting Baba, you can transport, you and your family can transport in your car, transport to the main centre. If Baba needs to be flown, then it's important to know that baby will be placed in a casket in the hold, and the air staff are just so respectful during this process. At the other end, a funeral director will be there to pick up Baba and transport Baba to the hospital and then return them. Okay. So time frame wise, it's typically a day.
They try, everyone within the pathology service tries to have your baby returned on the same day as much as possible. If that's not possible, then it will be the next day. So baby may be away from you overnight, but they will do their best to have baby for as short a time as possible, because they know how important it is for you to spend those precious moments with your baby.
Another thing you should know is the whānau rooms that are available at many DHBs, so you should ask your midwife and your doctor about those. So that's a space for family to be together, and particularly for us Māori to perform karakia and the like during this process. Something else that I guess families, whānau, particularly Māori, think about is our kawa and tikanga when transporting Baba. Okay, so there'll be specific protocols, kawa, that you may need to consider, and clearly it will be your whānau who will give you the guidance on that, but just something to note.
After a postmortem has been done, the pathologist will write up a report, and that report will be returned to your midwife or doctor or GP, and you will be contacted and they'll let you know when that report is back to go over it with you to see what has been, if the reasons why your baby has died have been discovered. It takes around 8 weeks, but sometimes even up to 12 weeks for a report to come back. The reason for that is because the pathologist may need to talk to other people about her suspicions. She may need to do some testing. She may need to talk to people overseas and even send samples overseas. So please just know that while it can take quite a while, and we know how hard that is, that it is happening, and it will come back around 8 to 12 weeks. The report is written in medical language, so that's why it's important to have that appointment with your midwife or doctor so you can go over it and work it out. Sometimes the pathologist doesn't find out why our babies have died, and that is really hard because we've made that big decision to have a postmortem, and that does happen for a certain percentage of babies. It's called unexplained. Our experience was that our daughter, we had an unexplained stillbirth. We didn't find out exactly why she died, but one way we looked at it was that we know what she didn't die from. So that brought us some comfort. We know it wasn't a cord accident, and we know it wasn't an infection. So maybe be prepared for that as well, and that's something your midwife can talk to you about.
Right. I mean, we both well know just how raw the sadness and grief is at this time for you and your whānau. So we're hoping that this information will make it a little bit more gentle for you and your family to make that decision.
Yeah. Now we're also going to put the website address for SANS at the end of this video. SANS is an organisation that supports families when their babies die. You will have received a SANS support pack that Lisa mentioned earlier. And SANS has groups all over the country. If you want to talk to someone about your experience or go along to a support meeting, look up the website and find out some information, because there's a great network of people there to support you.
You're very welcome, no mai haramai. We are bereaved parents supporting other bereaved parents. Me mihi aroha ki a koe, me tō whānau, so all of our love to you and your family at this time. We hope the information has been helpful to you. Kia ora.
Kia ora.